Thanks for joining me today. I'm excited to show you this prompt I created that helps AI generate really useful lesson plans. What makes it special is how it's structured into clear sections that guide the AI to give us exactly what we need. Let's look at how a typical prompt looks like for creating a lesson plan. Design a lesson plan on the civil rights movement for the 8th grade student. Or when the teacher has much more to say about what she or he are expecting from AI, then it can look like this big blob of text that's going to be difficult to edit, and also is going to be quite difficult to adjust to a different topic, which is why I want to introduce you to the prompt that I have created here. And I want to show you each of its sections here. It's structured actually into all these sections, and which makes it much easier to follow the steps of the prompt, and also to adjust it whenever you need it for other topics, or when you want to change the structure or the look of your lesson plan. This is much easier as I said, to work on and to change it for that purpose. So let's look at each section here. It starts with, you are a friendly and helpful instructional coach helping teachers plan a lesson. So this is usually how it starts, where you assign a role to AI, and you tell it how it should actually produce the output, in what manner. So in this case, it's a friendly, helpful instructional coach. And then there's the input section. And the input section usually provides all the information that you want AI to take into consideration for your lesson plan, whether it's question that it needs to ask the teacher before proceeding, and also telling it, for example, ask what is the topic you want to teach, and then ask what is the grade level of your student. And then also telling it, wait for response, do not move until the teacher is not responding, and so on. So all this information is very important, and you always put it in the input section. And again, these sections are arbitrary. It's not something that you have to learn. It's not HTML, although it looks like HTML, but it's not. This is really for the purpose of the structure and for you being able much easier to edit this and to follow what's going on. And then it's also very important, you have to always tell AI who is the audience, who is it supposed to produce this lesson plan for. And of course, in this case, it's K-12 teacher. Could have been a lesson plan for higher education. So it really, you specify exactly what is the audience that it needs to adjust the lesson plan for. It's also important to say what type of voice, what is the voice, because it can actually style it based on what you are defining in this section. So it has to be clear, has to be straightforward, concrete, dynamic, and engaging. Again, you don't have to put all these things in it. It all depends on you, what exactly you are expecting. And then again, as you see at this point, and I am actually using the HTML syntax here, but it's really not HTML. It's actually telling me whenever you have like a backslash like this, it always tells it, okay, this section is over. That's all that's included in the input section. Now starts the template section. The template is actually the look of the lesson plan, how it's going to look like, and what is it that you're expecting that it will produce in the output. And so it says, okay, so here you have steps, as you see. And it says create a customized lesson plan that includes, okay, so it will include a title, it will include a grade level, it's important. Lesson plan, what is the goal? The resources with real links to lesson plan, to the direct instruction that is detailed. So, and then a discussion, and engaging in-class activity, an assignment, checking for understanding, including gathering evidence of understanding for wide sampling and so on. And then, of course, here come again, as you see, we have used here brackets and a different color for the other steps that are coming up. And what they mean here is that this is more, again, providing guideline to the AI. So it says, explain why you are specifically choosing each. So you are not only going to provide me all these sections in the lesson plan, but you're also going to tell me why you're choosing it. Or if the teacher wants to change anything, or if they list any misconceptions, work with the teacher to change the lesson and tackle misconceptions. Or there's also ask the teacher if they would like any advice about how to make sure the learning goal is achieved. So these are all really instructions as they refer to the actual lesson plan or the output that it's going to produce. And that's it. And again, there is a closing template, little header here, which tells us that that's all it needs to create for you. So when you put it all together, here's how it works. The input section makes sure the AI gets all the context it needs. The audience and voice tags keep the tone and style perfect for teachers. And the template section guarantees you get a complete, well-structured lesson plan. Now let me show you how this works across different platforms. Now let's look at how we apply this in ChatGPT. All you have to do is really copy the prompt, the entire prompt, and then paste it into the ChatGPT window. And and start the prompt and see how it reacts. So let's look. And again, it says, hi, I'm here to help you plan a great lesson plan for students. Let's start with the basics. What topic do you want? And how do we decide what to buy and sell? And what does that tell us about about money? And basically just click and respond. It says grade. Now what grade level? So I'm going to say elementary grades 3 through 5. And then, are your students already familiar? So I'm going to say, no, this is their first time learning about this topic. And what is your learning goal? Gain basic information about finance for young students. And here's the lesson plan. It started producing it exactly based on the template that we provided it. So it starts with the lesson plan name, and then the grade level, the goal, the resources with links to the resources, direct instruction, what exactly we need to teach for that purpose, a short discussion, which includes questions that a teacher can pose to students, engaging in class activity, which some classroom market simulation that it provides instructions for, the assignment, what type of assignment to give students, and then checking for understanding, ask students what is one thing you learned today about money and so on. And in this case, it's asking me whether I would like to adjust this And what I asked it on the bottom is, remember, I asked it to justify. So I'm going to say it, you forgot to justify why you recommend each of these sections as I instructed. And then basically it's gonna, says you're absolutely right. So here it provides us with a revised lesson plan. And it says, why this? A relatable story with simple economic lessons, making finance accessible to young children. Why this? Helps students see how money affects their everyday lives, and so on. So each of them has a short justification. Of course, there's all the other guidelines that it also can provide. I'm not going to make this even longer than it is, but you understand how you actually need to prompt it. And also, so in addition to the prompt itself, which is great because you don't have to reinvent the wheel every time you do a lesson plan. So it's going to be like constant questions and answers of ChatGPT, but rather you already learned your lessons from previous experiences of producing lesson plans, and therefore you can put it in a big prompt and just have it run it, and that's it. There's also still unresolved issues that you need to continue to ask questions or point its attention to the fact that it forgot something and so on, and it will always produce for you a revised version of the lesson plan that's going to be satisfactory to your needs. Now let's try the same thing in Gemini. So I'm going to paste the prompt and I'm going to wait for a response. And the topic is going to be what happens in the world today and why does it matter to us? And this is where an example of how Gemini can make a mistake, because it was clearly prompted to wait for your response and it already produced something. So you did not wait for my response about the grade level and whether students had previous experience. So we have to, could you please tell me what grade level? And I'm going to say middle school this time. And this is their first time tackling this topic. And the learning goal is to be open to the events and happenings in the world and how it affects them. And there's the lesson plan produced after it asked you all the questions. So there's a title, Our World Today, Why Should We Care? Grade level middle school, lesson goal, there's a goal, resources, And then direct instruction, 20 minutes. It also gives you the time that you should probably dedicate. Key areas of current event, 10 minutes for that. Why it matters, 5 more minutes. And then discussion. These are questions that you can pose to your students. Engaging in class activities. So this is about 20 minutes as World News Scavenger Hunt. Assignment, checking for understanding, and why these choices. So here it didn't forget. It gave you exactly the reasons why it chose these it picked these choices, and misconceptions. Student might think it's already anticipating what types of misconception might be. So even before you actually enter those misconceptions, it already comes up with a few. Of course, you can ask whether you encounter other misconceptions. You can, of course, tell it that we have other misconceptions. Can you please talk about those? And so on. So it's always asking you whether you want to make any changes and so on. So here it is, and this is how you can do the same thing in Gemini. And now we are going to move on to Copilot. Hi, now let's do the same thing in Copilot. I'm going to just paste the prompt, and here it is. It's asking me what is the topic. What can we learn about a civilization from the artifacts they left behind? Grade level, we are going to say, this time we're going to say high school. And no, they are not knowledgeable yet. To establish the connection between the artifacts and the artifacts and the culture they left behind. And there it is. So the lesson plan was created. And let's go in there. Lesson plan title, Uncovering the Past, Understanding Civilization Through Artifacts. High school, lesson plan goal. They will be able to analyze artifacts to infer key aspects of the civilization, so on and so forth. Resources. What are the resources? Again, I don't know if you noticed, but some of them do provide links to actual resources. Some of them don't. Looks like the resources in this case were not provided with links. You can always prompt it and say, please provide me real resources. But some AI tools don't have access to the internet. So in that case, it's going to be difficult. ChatGPT does have. I'm not sure about Copilot, but we'll check it out in a minute. Direct instruction, the instruction, the discussion. Again, it provides you time, how much time you need to dedicate to each. In-class activity, assignment, checking for understanding, an explanation. Again, it didn't forget to explain why it picked all these resources. And then you can say, can I get links to the resources here provided. Yes, so it looks like Copilot does provide you, it has access to the internet, and it does provide you real links to resources. So that's that. This is how you use a prompt that you will recreate every time you have a new topic, or you can reuse, in other words, not recreate, but reuse every time you have a new topic. And by having it structured the way it is structured, it's much easier to edit every time you need to change or you need to apply it to something else. So thank you very much for listening, and I will see you in our next video.